Hello there, welcome in today's session. My name is Marbiya, and today we will focus on overcoming fear of failure. I think this is a very relevant subject, no matter when we listen to this throughout our lives. Fear of failure can stop us from living our lives fully. We are afraid of taking risks, afraid of trying new things, afraid of pursuing our ideas because we are afraid of failing. And we are afraid of failing because of the meanings that we give to the failure itself, what it means about us when we fail. It took me a very long time to finally overcome this fear. And now, whenever an idea comes to me, I act on it immediately. Let's take this YouTube channel, for example. I have had many ideas, and not every one of my videos turn out to be good. But I put them out there anyway, knowing that it's not a fail. I did not fail. I tried something, and I learned from it. And before I start, I like to read for you a quote from one of Wayne Dyer's book. I had this book over a decade, and this one particular chapter really helped me to put failure into perspective. There is no such thing as failure. Failing is a judgment that we humans place on a given action. Rather than judgment, substitute this attitude. You cannot fail. You can only produce results. Then the most important question to ask yourself is, what do you do with the results you produce? So, this quote is going to be at the center of our meditation today. We will go through a process where we learn to see our actions, our so-called failures, from a different point of view, so that when you want to try something, you go ahead and do it without hesitation, without self-doubt, without the fear of failing. Because as the quote said, there's no such thing as failure. You only produce a result. And all you have to do is to decide what you're going to do with the results you produced. So, if you are ready to do this meditation with me today, find yourself a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Now, we will start by taking a few deep breaths to connect ourselves with our body at this present moment. Take a deep breath in and open your mouth and breathe out. Good. Take a deep breath in open your mouth and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and open your mouth and breathe out. Good. Now, if you're sitting, then roll your shoulders back so you can sit upright. If you're lying down, then gently squeeze your shoulder blades together so you can open up your chest, create more space, and gently let go of any tension you might be holding in your body. Allow yourself to go deeper into relaxation. And from this relaxed state, we will explore the layers of our mind, the beliefs that we have about failing. Now, I'd like you to bring in mind a situation where you have labeled yourself as a failure. Things did not happen as you have planned. Things went wrong. Perhaps it's a divorce, a breakup, loss of a job. Financial problems, anything that makes you feel like you have failed in life. And once you have the situation in mind, for now, I like you to focus on just one situation. And you can do this process again later on for other situations. But for the sake of this practice, I like you to focus on one situation where you felt like a failure, that you told yourself that you failed, that you disappointed yourself, that you disappointed other people, that you feel like a loser. And now, once you have the situation in mind, I like you to go back in time in your mind and to see all the actions that led you up to this situation. What happened? What decisions did you make that eventually resulted in producing this situation? This is not about blaming yourself. This is not about guilt or shame or regret. This is about recognizing that no matter what happens in our lives, we always make a choice and take an action. And when you made that choice and took that action, you did not know what would happen. You could not predict the future. So you are innocent. When we make certain decisions in life, We don't know how that decision will end. We can only hope. But most of the time, things does not turn out to be the way we have hoped for. And it's okay. You took an action and it produced a result. You did not know this would happen, so you don't get to blame yourself. Now, the only reason that you are hurting, that you feel like a failure, is because of the way you interpreted this situation. But you know deep down that it's not true. The way you interpreted the situation is not true. You did not fail. You made a decision. You took an action and it produced a result. Now, you have to decide, what do you want to do with this result? The most important thing we can do with this result is to learn what to avoid in the future. What we can learn from this experience. That is the only function the past has. It's not about blaming ourselves, blaming other people, create a victim story. It's not about that at all. It's about reviewing the situation from a more mature point of view and ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? When we make a mistake, we learn how to do things correctly. We learn what to avoid in the future. We learn where to improve in our lives, in our personality. If we don't want to learn from these mistakes, we will keep making the same mistakes and keep producing the same results. And we can never grow, and we can never change our lives. When you look at the situation, and when you are able to see that it was the result of certain choice and certain actions that you took, you can first and foremost take responsibilities for your choice by saying, I chose this path and I take responsibilities, knowing that I did not know what would happen. And I forgive myself for not knowing. And now you look at the result of your action. You look at the situation. Did you really fail? Is this really a failure? Because if you want to interpret it in this way, you will see yourself as a victim. But once you take responsibilities for your actions, for the choices you made, then you will see that it was only the results of these actions. It's in cause and effect. You took a step and you produce a result. Now, how would you feel about the situation if you look at it as a result of the actions that you took and not interpreting it as a failure? Because it's a judgment. Calling something a failure is a judgment. You have a choice not to judge the situation in this way. So what do you do with this result? What can you learn from this situation? This way of looking at your situation is more empowering. And now, let go of the situation, and I want you to focus on something that you want to do in the future. Something that you wanted to do but you have been procrastinating, that you have been putting it off because you were scared of failing. You were scared of making a mistake. And this fear of failure has been keeping you distracted from your actual goals. I want you to focus on that goal, that desire, that thing that you wanted to do for so long. Now, what's the worst thing that can happen if you did act on this desire? If you pursued your goal, if you took an action, what's the worst that can happen? And once you come up with the worst case scenario, how about we look at this as a result of an action? Even if the worst case scenario does happen, it means nothing about who you are. You have at least tried. You allowed yourself to have a full experience in life. That's life is all about. Have courage, daring to take actions, even if you know that you're gonna fail 100%. You have at least tried, and that is your success. You did not allow your fear to hold you back. You conquered your fear. You look at your fear and say, I will never let you hold me back ever again. Even if I'm going to fail, I'm going to do it. It's better to do something and fail than to not do it at all due to fear of failing. The quickest way to success is to keep doing things and keep failing. Because every time you fail, you will learn a new way of doing something. Just like how Edison invented light bulbs. He said he did not fail 1,000 times. He only figured out 1,000 ways of not making the light bulbs. And eventually, on the 1001st attempt, he succeeded. If you want to become successful at something, you have to try and fail, and try and fail, and look at every failure as an opportunity to learn more about yourself. Where can I grow? What can I change? What should I do with this result that I have produced? When we look at the results and see it as a result we have produced, it's not failure, it's just a result. Is this the result you want, or is this the result you don't want? That is the only question that matters. If it is the result that you don't want, then keep trying. Keep trying different methods until you get the result you want. And that's what we call success. If your relationship is failing, ask yourself, is this the result I want? Is this the kind of relationship I want? If the answer is no, then let it go. Breakup is not a failure. It's an opportunity for both people to find happiness elsewhere, to have the chance to explore themselves through other people, a chance to get to know new people. Holding on to toxic relationships because you don't want to feel like a failure is not a way to live. Holding on to jobs that you don't enjoy just because you are scared of losing the financial security is not a way to live. Life is all about adventure. Every time we take a step forward, not knowing exactly what's going to happen, but we take that step anyway. That's what makes life exciting. That's what makes life worth living. Now, bring your attention back to your body. Move your body gently and gently open your eyes. Now, I'd like you to take your journal and write down, first and foremost, what you have learned from the past situations, the ones that you have labeled as failure, but now you know they are just the results that you have produced. It's an opportunity for you to come up with new choice, new action plan, and try again until you produce the results that you want. Now I want you to write down what you have learned from the past. And once you have done that, turn a new page and I want you to write down what you want to do in the future. The things that you have always wanted to do, but unable to do because of the fear of failing. And now that you know that there is no such thing as failure, there is only a result. The result we want or the result we don't want. And the quickest way to success is to keep making mistakes until we figure out the right way to do it. So write down your future plan. What is it that you want to do? And even if the worst case scenario comes true, you will know that it's only a result that you have produced. And always ask yourself, what am I going to do with this result? What's the next step? Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.